So we've been working with a team of psychologists and social workers that go and visit families that live in the poverty line in the Azores Islands. And the structure of the work they used to do was very hierarchical and very centered around the processes of controlling the families, teaching the families, deficit perspective oriented, and there was this emotional negative contest where the professionals hated to have to visit the families, and the families hated to be visited, and but they had to because it was part of the program, and so they will create stories or lie that they were not in the house, so that they will not open the door. And so we begin thinking in a different perspective, and Lynn and your ideas were very part of this. And what would be the best conditions for us to be invited if we have to be in their houses? Can we find a way to feel that we are welcome and they want us there? So in one day we were having these 50 women in a room sharing their stories, life stories with us, with incredible situations, like a couple that was saying they've planned to kill themselves because the man had an accident and he was in a wheelchair. The house has no conditions to have a wheelchair. They had no money to rebuild the house. So they thought that they really loved each other very much and they wanted to die. And they planned their suicide with rat poisoning. But they had kids, so they planned the whole thing. They had Canadian families so that they could take care of the kids. And then they laid on the bed to kill themselves, and then began a conversation, and they decided not to, and decided that maybe there was life beyond this. And this woman was sharing this story in the middle of a group of 50 and saying, well, anyone that is thinking of killing themselves, please come to me and my husband, because we'd love to tell you how we decided that life was better than death. And it was so intense that people began sharing things about their homes and their relationships and special objects they had in the house that really were the center of their lives. And suddenly they were telling to the professionals, oh, you know what? I'd love you to come one day to see my the image I have in my bathroom that really was offered. It was from my grandmother, and it's the most important object that I have in my house. And suddenly they were inviting people to come to their houses, and this was the beginning of 6 years of connections and dialogues. And of course there's a lot of difficult things in this relationship, but everything changed where people were in a position where they could invite, they felt and wanted to invite the ones that were obliged by the state, the government, because they were paying the welfare to the families to be there. And now every time we go there twice a year to work with these families and teams, the stories have changed mainly, and they have groups of women that decided to begin walking together to lose weight, because obesity is a problem in poverty. But it was their idea, and they create the Rhizome, and they knock at the doors, and would you like to come with us for a walk every morning at 8 o'clock? And then they create a new space for sharing and having a conversation while they are walking. And then they move to another group and they go to tell their stories, and it's completely rhizomatic. So Glenn is there since the beginning. Because it's this movement from the ones that have things to give to the concept that we all have things to give was always present in these populations. I once heard a woman from Rabo do Peixe, which is a very impoverished area, telling me that she was extremely excited because that day she was able to have soup, a big pan of soup for the 8 kids, and also enough to share with her neighbor. So the sharing, the gift exchange was there from the beginning, but no one was honoring it. So everyone that was coming from outside, from other communities and, you know, other social positions, were bringing the tree perspective. We are better than you. We have lots. We've been trained to work with you, so we know a lot. I think now the possibility of understanding how the gift exchange is already there, it was, ever was. 1 month ago, I went there and they asked me to have a meeting with a woman that is an inspiration for me. She's 38 years old, she has several kids. The man is a fisher, he's a fisherman, lots of economic problems. And she just had a stroke. But she asked to talk with me because she remembered conversations we had in years before, to tell me that she was in a hospital for a month to help her brother that came from Canada again, to die in the Azores Islands because he was having a severe cancer. And she lied with him for 1 month in the hospital, and she wanted to share with me that she brought this little this piece of paper where she would write every day while she was telling stories to him and bringing the memories of their infancy and making him laugh. She would write down when he was asleep all the things that she was using to keep herself with strength enough to keep making this the best days of his life while he was dying. And this woman had all this sheet of paper to share with me, saying, well, I thought maybe this is useful for others. So do you think we can do something with this? And I also have a book that I wrote last night because I'm worried with my kid that is being bullied in school because he's on welfare. And I created this story. I was awake all night, and I think I need to share it with other kids, with teachers in school. This woman she probably studied 4 years, but she loves writing, she loves creating, she's there as a gift giver constantly. When people are in position of being accepted exactly as they are, the magic, the love is there.